are really into Star Wars. 2 years ago, when you walked out of the theater, you heard that the final Star Wars is coming out in 2 years, so you marked your calendar for 730 days. You've been waiting for today, and you know who you are. You know how to pronounce all of the characters, you know who they are and what they mean. A big day for you is May the 4th. May the 4th is the big day that you celebrate if you're a Star Wars aficionado, because you get to say, May the 4th be with you. If you want to know what these people look like, they look like the people behind the counter at Best Buy. They live for Star Wars. Okay, the second category, I used to be in the third category, but now I'm in the second category. These are the regular people that enjoy Star Wars. They're here to have a good time. They don't know how to pronounce all the names, but they have another life besides Star Wars. The third kind of people, the other kind, what I call the dragged. These are the people who were dragged here by somebody else. In 1977, and dragged by their grandkids or kids or spouses or whatever. In 1977, when Star Wars came out, they were busy disco dancing to John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. They didn't know what was going on here. You're here probably because you were a guest of somebody else, or you just wanted to hang out with Andy Hirsch, or you heard there were good pastries here. You don't celebrate May 4th. You celebrate May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo, which is much more important. And you might be here because you thought when you saw Star Wars that this had to do with Ronald Reagan and his Strategic Defense Initiative. No. At any rate, you can't move down the ranks. You can move from here to here as I did, but you can never move here. You're either born into this or not. This is like British royalty. You cannot become an aficionado when you're 25 or 35 years old. Just to give you a quick history, this is the 9th Star Wars episode. The first one came out in 1977, and it was at the time just called Star Wars. It was followed 3 years later by another Star Wars and then another. Well, 14 years later, in 1999, they came out with a Star Wars that came before these four. So the first one that came out, this is very confusing, is Star Wars 4 that was followed by 5, followed by 6. In 1999, you had the prequel, and this was a trilogy that was supposedly to precede the ones that we already saw. Well, in 2015, the audience wanted more, so they came out to a sequel to these three, and these are Star Wars 7, 8, and 9. So today, December 21st, 2019, you're going to see the last of the 9 Star Wars episodes. Who knows, there may be a 10th, it may be up -1, we don't know what it is, but there may be something else. Just to give you an intro, and I'm not talking to the aficionados here because you all know way more than I do about this, but just to know what you will not see today in Star Wars, you will not see anybody say, "Beam me up, Scotty." That's Star Trek. So there's no Captain Kirk, no Bones, no Scotty, any of that. You will not see Warning Will Robinson, because that's Lost in Space. You're not going to see Lex Luthor. You're not going to see Wonder Woman. You're not going to see a tribute to Ronald Reagan and the Star Wars Initiative, and nothing about Cinco de Mayo. You will hear May the 4th be with you, nothing about the 5th. Just to give you an idea of the nomenclature about Star Wars, these are some of the words and ideas you're going to hear and see. A lightsaber, that's a little sword with a beam of light that kills people. A land cruiser is some kind of machine. X-wing fighter, a star destroyer. The Force, you're going to hear about the Force. A TIE fighter that has nothing to do with Thailand, it has nothing to do with bow ties. And you're going to see in the beginning, they're going to talk about a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's just to tell you when and where this all takes place. Within Star Wars, it's all good and evil. You've got good people and things, you've got bad people and things. The good ones are Luke Skywalker. He's our big hero. You've got the Rebel Alliance, another good aspect. Prince Leia, Yoda, and we've heard a lot of talk about Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's not going to be with us today, but Baby Yoda's a big craze now. Other good people are R2-D2 and CP3-0. They're machines. The Jedi are good. Rhea, or Rey, whatever it is, Poe, Finn, Han Solo, and his sidekick, the bear called Chewbacca. And this has nothing to do with chewing tobacco. Chewbacca is an animal. You've got the bad people, the dark side, Darth Vader, the Death Star, Darth Maul. Notice they all start with a D. I don't know why that is. The Empire, very, very bad. Stormtroopers are bad. Kylo Ren and Jabba the Hutt. Bad people. Those are, when you see that, that's bad stuff. Why are we doing Star Wars? And just to summarize here today, this is a timeless tale of good and evil. Okay, so we're just here to have fun and enjoy this timeless tale. It's about an underdog who is known, he's destined for greatness, and he knows that he's destined for greatness. There's a wonderful cast of characters that you'll enjoy. This is a movie that's satisfying, yet it keeps you in suspense and keeps you wanting more, especially if you're one of the aficionados. Within Star Wars, you have something for everybody. You've got, you know, the high-tech nature for the aficionados, and you've got the cute little animals and stuff for the people who were dragged here for somebody else. And finally, you have the Force. And the Force is very important. The Jedis use the Force for good. The Sith, or the Sith, whatever they're called, they use it for bad. But the Force, when you use it properly, allows its users to find peace, strength, and serenity among endless noise and chaos in the universe. So with that being said, enjoy the movie, and may the Fourth be with you. Force.